So that's what
Looks
I'm
like
doing.
Tony Schiavone's in the ring.
Yeah, what's this? Ricky and oh, there's some shit. So they're going to. It's a
Now,
planned invasion. That was stupid to say.
let there be a new. Oh, wait, I'm not going.
I'm just saying it's gonna be an invasion. You don't say that it's planned. You just don't. You lead.
What is Rick and Morty?
Oh wow, it came down to the teams I thought it was gonna come down to. Oh my goodness.
Not that. And now all we need is Nick.
Oh, Zeno sent me the which left
Wow, dude, you got a short. Somebody got
Okay, zero. Yeah, Mike's kind of broken.
I really wish I could show that action and stuff while we're talking about it, but oh man, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's sad.
Let's go, hang on.
YouTube Studio Beta.
Shit. I don't want to update Steam. I want to keep it offline for now.
Well, I want to be. It's admittedly kind of, at least compared to the Hangman Page. There we go.
There's Nick.
I'm, I'm here, so I'm late.
Hmm?
I'm here. Sorry, I'm late.
That's cool. Oh.
Nick,
Oh, look at you.
there is only one thing you need to work. Figuring out who's going to win in this match.
Hangman's gonna win because he needs the momentum for the paper. That's all I gotta say.
Liking the green term, but the green post.
Yeah, they got green post. They got a pay raise. Oh, they're
Yeah, like we like
covers.
this
Never
shit.
mind. They're covers.
Oh, I thought they got green post. And so what about Victor
Piece of
Riley?
wood and my ankle twisted. Let me get this straight. I kicked a piece of wood and my ankle twisted funny. That's the first text I see. That caught my eye.
Oh, nice move. Oh, nice drop kick.
He's about to break his back doing that kick up. I'm able to break his own back. Dancing in the moon.
Well, I see Hangman Page chopping the hell out of Sammy.
Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up.
Oh, flare chop to the bar.
Let's see. Pull
Irish.
the place. Hopefully nothing seems to be turned off. Damn, it's hot over here. Okay. You notice that? He's got to dumb himself down to wrestle dude. About what I call him. What the fuck?
Sammy Guevara.
Oh, always slam.
You gotta hit the
Leap.
You know what? You know what he got to hit? The bullet ray spit in the air and catches it.
Guevara is getting cocky as usual.
Because Guevara is a cocky cunt. A team.
The problem is he's cocky and he's in the ring with somebody that he legit can't back it up with.
Of course, there's that.
We've watched Adam Page wrestle. We've
The 2 years that Page in New Japan Pro Wrestling,
Man.
he came so fucking far.
Yeah, we watched Adam grow in New Japan. He was all right in Ring of Honor. He was all right, but when he got to New Japan, he had to step up. He stepped up so much. He had a few matches with Okada, didn't he? Not to say that Okada's anything worth a fuck, but
He wrestled like Ishii.
the fact that he wrestled Ishii and hung with him.
G1 and stuff.
Hung with him. He was in the G1. Adam Page, LOL, picking on him. But Adam Page has done way too much to carry this kid past 5 minutes.
Hey, if you can make him look good, it makes him look good as well.
When you realize that the
Let's be
green is Rick and
honest.
Morty. That just pissed me off now.
Yeah, he binged his head on that metal apron on the way down, and that was legit.
Ugh.
You can see him bounce. You can see Adam Page's head bounce right off of it. And
I
that,
wouldn't be surprised if he got. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he got a concussion.
yeah, he could have a very, very mild one. He could. Luckily, you know, the skull and other stuff is
Dagger.
protecting the brain. Luckily.
True.
Oh no.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be straight up with you. If I was the owner or the booker of this, and I saw him cover Adam Page like that, I'd be like, you've been demoted. you know you
You're
are
now
not.
from mid-card to a jobber.
You would be an enhancement wrestler after that for a little bit.
Well, you do need some cocky
Motherfucker.
wrestlers.
What?
That's a fight
Okay.
right there. That's a fucking fight. That's a fight for real, man.
Oof.
Back in the day, that's what they would call getting cute. And that's when you gotta take some liberties and knock a fucker out.
Well, on the bright side, it knocked some sense in the Page.
It's like, what the fuck am I doing in my life, man? I need to step up.
Adam, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's fucked up. It is. The people that know professional wrestling, they would know this right here. AEW is too small for Adam Page. Someone like Adam Page, and I got this as much as I would be against it last year. At this time last year, I'd be like, I'd be slapping me right now for trying to say it. But Cody is too small for AEW. And now you talk about, I was shitting on Cody way worse than I was Omega. I wanted Cody like sued out of wrestling.
So there's Rick and Morty thing for tonight.
You're worried about that, really?
No, I'm not really worried about that. It's just a fact, like the green
Wait, go to the top rope.
turnbuckle joint.
The literal question is why?
They even got cartoons being like, yo, this show is awesome. Let's collab with them.
Yeah.
That's that move right there, big fella.
Oh,
He gave him a taste of his own medicine. That's normally something Paige don't even do. Pop up power bomb.
Bam.
A good opening match.
It's alright. Buckshot.
Look, you just need to get the crowd wild up.
That's what you need to do
man.
for opening match. Get the crowd wild up.
Exactly.
I mean, let's be honest here. When you want to book a good show, you gotta start strong and end strong.
Yeah, it's warm in here. It's humid as fuck too.
Hi, guys.
Nice.
But I'm gonna be
outside.
I'm gonna be very honest. I'm worried about what they're going to do with. Like, are they going to have another title? Like, I have a promo for you. Yeet, kick, knee, ooh, roaring elbow.
Buckshot lariat.
That was glorious.
Ooh.
And he finished him with it.
He finished him. That ain't his finisher.
That's not
It
his
should be
finish.
finishing.
But the way he spoke earlier, he spoke like it is going to be his new finisher.
Awesome.
And here's the thing. That's never been his finisher. So he just beat this dude with the move that wasn't even his mid-card finisher.
I see.
So he's either evolving or
Signature.
he's turning his. Hey, it's not the first time anybody changed their signature into a finish.
No,
Look at
it's
Shawn
not.
Michaels.
Exactly. AJ Styles, for example.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, that super kick he used to lightly do and turn that into his finisher.
Hey, originally was a teardrop suplex.
Yeah. That high crotch suplex Shawn Michaels used to use. He ain't even sweaty. The Hulk! The
I'm
Hulk is
looking
there!
forward to Full Gear. That's gonna be a hype. Be a good show.
Mr. Macy's. Oh,
Dub. Oh, I'm excited. Rick and Morty, baby.
why is my?
Oh, let's just hope that there's no cameo.
It's connected to my head.
Yeah, it was a warm-up. It was a warm-up match.
He wasn't even sweating.
I'll be honest with you. Y'all want to see Hangman Page like awesome level. You just find Hangman, just find Adam Page versus Ishii. That's all you got to find that. And you'd be like, oh shit. He's not, they're not showing him how awesome he is. Okay, what?
Okay, this is dumb. Hold up. Nobody cares. There we go. Got it working. Now, bitch, motherfucker, I want you to pause,
Yes.
cancel.
League War One.
Don't miss Brawl Halloween 2019. You bitch, motherfucker. Oh, they updated Steam.
Man,
I fucks with
Mr.
this.
Greed and Zero Wrestling. So that's what you call yourself now? Zero Wrestling?
What? When was
Because
this?
you got too many Twitter handles. You know that? Now
You
you
see, my friend. you got you got the Kano Twitter, which is where I act like Kano and be a nuisance. And then you
Interesting.
got the Zero Wrestling Twitter, which is basically my main joint now. I've
Oh,
never seen
Here comes Shauna. Shanna, whatever her name is.
uh, I never seen this chick before.
She's hot, I'll tell you that.
I give you that. She was actually pretty cute.
I would mark out over them too. They're gonna be on NWA Power, as you saw that earlier. And when
Huh.
this show goes off, I'm definitely gonna have to do the talk about NWA Power. NWA Power was fucking amazing tonight. It was really damn good. All right, I'm just throwing out this for this commercial. It ain't now. I ain't trying to be a dick. I ain't trying to be a heel. I ain't trying to be some ignorant fuck. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to see a commercial where one dude is laying on top of another dude, looking at the camera, nodding his
Oh,
head.
yeah. Hikaru Shida coming out.
It's just not a thing that I want to see.
What you mean?
I wouldn't want to see
Like
it
my
if it was
buddy, I
two
don't go that way,
girls.
big fella. Like my buddy, I don't want to be like that, big fella. I need y'all to chill.
So who's this, Shayna?
Nigga said she said Shauna.
Shauna. Hmm. Nice hair. I'll give her that.
But right now she's untested, so we have no idea what she.
And she's wrestling somebody. Ikari? Harken me
Y'all
back
thought
to
I was sure. All right.
to Ikari Warrior days. Old video game. I'd be like, somebody bigger than life better walk the fuck out.
I remember her.
Yeah. Oh, Hikaru. Shira Hikaru.
Karu. Rosen. Bro. I got you. Chill, big fella. Shit.
Well, she's 0-1 singles, a 50% win rate.
No, maybe it's Shanna. Unless JR butchering it.
If JR saying that, he's probably fucking it up. I gotta be real. If JR said he's probably fucking it up.
Ah, I got something in my eye. I need to watch more Joshi wrestling, so I'll get used to it.
Two chicks that about the same size. Good.
Whoa. way those arms are being twisted.
She just pulled a Sabu, bruh. Oh my god.
What do you mean pull a Sabu?
I'm watching it on TV, so
Ooh, swinging
you're
net.
gonna
Well,
see.
yeah, flipping net breaker.
You're gonna see. But I fucks with her on that. Like Charmin Ultraban.
All right, you've signaled her enough. Run, dumbass. Ooh. Need her right in the gut. I like that. That freeze ain't working fast enough. I want my water cold.
Swish, swish, swish. Another one bites the dust.
I don't know. I am currently stuttering heavily fighting.
Oh, nice double jump flying knee bomb. The fucked up part is she didn't need the chair. That's what's so bad.
Exactly.
She didn't even need the chair.
I don't care. She pulled a Sabu. I love it.
Hey, if it looks cool, who cares?
I care.
Like shit.
I don't care if it looks cool. I care if it looks like it makes sense.
So you want her to just hold her ass.
I can
all the
look
way
cool
up to
just
the
by
joint.
whipping my dick out, but that don't mean it makes sense right now.
Okay, chill.
Okay, too much information.
Needs
No,
to
too
hear
much
that
information
shit.
describing how awesome it looks.
Okay, now that's too much
Okay, so
information.
can we get on to the next topic, please?
Let's get back to
All right, let's get
Boston
down to the
Dynamo.
details. I got bullet points for this. I got a whole slideshow presentation. It's been notarized by the government. It is awesome. Patent pending and trademark locked down.
You talking about your dick now?
What the hell? How did we go from talking about wrestling to this?
I made a comparison and then somebody wanted to elaborate on it, so I'm here. Here I am, doing my job.
Okay, can we get back to focus on AEW?
We can do that, and he can too. We will both be watching AEW. My three eyes are solidly on this show.
This motherfucker said 3 hours, bro. I'm asleep.
Honestly, it would take 3 hours of AEW.
3 eyes. Not 3 hours.
Nah, 3 hours was that shit I did last week. What the fuck? Well, no, this week. Goddamn. Oh my damn. I will not be doing an event that long again. What the fuck? And yeah, I've been watching the match. I'm liking. Right now, it's a pro wrestling match. It hasn't stopped being a pro wrestling match. I'm liking what I'm seeing. But here's the thing: it's a pro wrestling match, and the crowd don't know how to fucking deal with it. They respond to certain shots, but they don't respond to the skill. Fuck these commercials.
Skills.
Nice Frankensteiner.
To the windows, to the wild.
All these bitches fall.
All these bitches. I don't know why I just brought it up. Like I just randomly started talking.
It's sick that that's an old song and it's still hyped today. Damn it.
Right.
I'm telling you, in 5 to 10 years, you're gonna hear part of the chorus on. You're going to hear part of that on daytime TV, on some car commercial or some shit.
Talk about skeet.
Some potato chip.
Whoa! Yes, chick. Yes, bitch. You know what I hate about that move so much, Nick? Since like we were essentially watching the same damn shit on the same time. What I hate about that move is that the motherfucker's holding it for her. Like you holding yourself up just to get dropped on your freaking neck.
Yep. When you have to help the move take place, that's when it looks bad. It always looks bad when you have to help the move.
Just be like, God damn it, motherfucker.
Like the defender's part is to sell the move, not help perform the move. Not like that, going on appearance. You're doing your help in your own little ways that the crowd shouldn't be able to pick up. Like this woman, she's most likely, Shauna's going to put her foot up on the top rope. Okay, she didn't have to. She countered. Uh-oh. Oh, and she slips right into it. She could have fell down, but nope. She had to hold on and slide down. Diving double foot stomp. Okay, she caught her part on the face. But you know what? These girls are wrestling and...
They are wrestling, I give her that.
They're wrestling and the crowd is kind of into it.
The crowd sucks dick, bro.
They're spot monkey lovers. That's the problem. You remember I remember earlier too. TinyORL.com.
I swear to fucking God if you advertise this shit again.
That shit was funny.
Zeno, you better not do that shit.
I ought to do that for AEW stuff.
Do it when it's ads or nobody's talking. But during a conversation, and you just wind up like whatchamacallit, segue right into it. That's just shit. The whole segue.
Rite
and
of
all
passage. That back to belly power driver.
I like when matches don't end with a finish. It makes it so random. It's so interesting.
I'm liking Shayna, and Sheeta's doing well. Sheeta needs to do well with you know what? I don't think the girls in Japan train like they used to 5 years ago.
Nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow. I love that so much. It's so funny, so stupid at the same time. But nobody kicks out the Falcon Arrow. Shut up, I just did.
She took her ass the fuck over.
I swear this... What's the Japanese girl name again?
Sheeta.
Sheeta. I love her knees. Sheeta.
Nope. Roll over. Nice.
I'll be back, guys.
All right.
Take your time. All right.
Duck through. Nope. Rana. Reverse Rana. All right. Look. It don't take long for me to go through commentary withdrawal. That's why I'm probably doing another show. It don't take long.
Well, mate.
Flying knee
You got
balls.
until tomorrow. And tomorrow you start doing tapings and all that other shit. Well, not tapings, but
I finally gave the sliding lariat to the proper person. I'm happy about that. They need to have the other sliding lariat, the one that goes into a pin. Oh, she got her.
Shauna sells very well.
Yeah, Shauna, she sells beautifully.
Like, man, she killed in there.
But here's the thing, though. The match could have gone either way. It could have gone either way. I like both girls. They finally in there with someone that they can throw down with.
They can work with, yeah. Instead of somebody that's mega or somebody that's mini.
And they didn't take it easy on each other.
I honestly would be surprised if anybody said that this match was taking it easy on each other.
A lot of people would be bored with this match. They don't like pro wrestling. I don't know what dumbass match I saw. It was like 3 years ago, indie circuit. And this dude pulled out a gun. It was fake, but it looked real enough. And so he pulls the trigger. It's like a cap gun, so it's like pap. And then the guy falls over holding his chest, and then the guy goes and gets 3 count. And the name of the move was called the stun gun.
Shoot me in my
That's
damn
dumb.
foot, please, because
And people thought it was really
they're
funny.
making progress.
It was like such a great mark out. They thought it was funny. They were happy.
Was the PWG crowd?
I don't know. They want PWG. They want Chikara, PWG, and none of the major shitty promotions. It was
Hey, don't call Chikara shitty.
It's shitty. Put it like this. If you can't get a local TV deal, you're real shitty. I could start a promotion and get a public TV deal instantly. It wouldn't take much. If your show can't get a TV deal, then you're fucked.
Well, it depends on which channel.
Depends.
I mean, if we're talking about a public access station, then yeah, it would be pretty freaking easy. Unless you're beaten out by something like, I don't know, Antique Roach.
Welcome back.
Hey, Nick.
Right, Rock and Roll Express. I've actually met them. They're cool in real life.
Such asshole.
We're glad to be on AEW. We love this. Yada yada yada. We're gonna present this. Yada yada.
And then they're going to challenge for his titles.
That sounds like the life, you know. Challenge another company. I mean, what the fuck I say?
They are the longest tag team in history right now. Just 2 people being a tag team. They done broke the record. It's done.
Honestly, the big thing I'm surprised about is that despite their advanced age, they're not retired.
Submit your heel status. Y'all did it.
Yeah, y'all submitted your heel status like a motherfucker.
What shit?
That's in right now. Y'all couldn't be a face if you tried. This is how you do it. I would have had a rolled up brick in there. I mean, you want to.
And here comes Red Baba Ganoush and White Baba Ganoush.
That's tube stock.
They just walked out.
Make me sick. Jim Ross getting mad. It makes me sick. Nobody cares about basketball, motherfucker.
Oh no. Oh,
That dude you just saw, that's a wrestling fan. That dude won't smiling. That's the guy you need to watch out for. That's probably going to shoot you in the back alley.
Yeah.
That's the guy you got to watch out for. Now, the doctors came out instantly for Christopher Daniels, but they like, fuck these people. Now, you can chant the name all you want, but people don't get up because you chant it.
and thus we say hello to commercial break.
Yep.
While you're at it, you know, I want y'all to go to the best website of all time, Pornhub.com. Support them, you know.
Man, fuck Pornhub. Motherfucking xnxx.com. That got
yes.
That's got all your shit right there.
And the best part about it, they stay anonymous.
Yep. The thing is, though, I haven't made an account on any porn site.
I have not, sir.
Fuck that
I was
shit.
talking to a friend about it, and basically I was like, you know, you could make money off having sex and recording that shit. Just monetize your videos, bruh.
Yeah, you could. Just get on camera, masturbate, and then you're done. Make yourself about $25. And
Right.
you make it, and then you just keep making that $25 every few days.
Right.
I should post my wrestling content on there.
Some people do. I watched Capital Combat 90 on Pornhub. I watched
That's crazy.
Halloween Havoc on X Videos. I watched Dragon Ball Super, the Return of Frieza. I watched that. I think that was Pornhub. I think that's what that was. It was grainy, but you know, I watched it.
That's hilarious.
You know, it's not just porn. You know, I mean, they said we got movies. It was very general. We got movies. The thing
For
is,
free.
yeah, it was subtitled in English, but it was dubbed in Spanish.
Awesome.
Dr. Sleep.
Oh god.
I
I
thought
remember hearing that.
I thought about people trying to modernize Scooby-Doo, and I thought they just all get shot. They just get shot.
You come out.
And here comes that commercial again.
Yeah, Freddy would light that motherfucker up. Freddy be the first one to shoot somebody. Actually, Freddy be the only one to shoot somebody. I'm getting some work.
Froggy?
I feel like my damn mouth and stomach is on fire.
This motherfucker has a motherfucking apple.
It was just It was a while ago, but I drank probably about 4 or 5 bottles of water before I went to sleep. I drank the water at Waffle House. I had some when we got back home. I woke up at one point, got some. Then I woke up again, got finished that off. And after finally getting up, I had some. And then you got home, I had one more. Oh shit. Yeah.
In my ear too. My God.
How much they got paid with their ass kicked?
A lot. Oh shit, that's better.
I need to watch a Nick Mondo match. Sick Nick Mondo. Fans bring weapons to the match. These shit.
I'm currently just at the part where Cody and Shivani are talking.
And why can't he bet me?
If this was the whole show, I'm gonna jump off a bridge.
Well, if you were Shane McMahon, you would probably jump off a bridge.
And Shane McMahon will jump off anything.
Right.
I kid you not. I used to think Shane McMahon was going to become a legit wrestler and stuff because I thought he had some like talent, and he didn't show up until the next. I mean, he didn't wrestle until like 2 or 3 pay-per-views later, and I was like, oh, he's a part timer. So I was disappointed.
Aw.
Just imagine if Shane was a wrestler.
No,
You know, I feel like if Shane ever was a wrestler, um, he would be part time, but same time he would be more like a spot person. And once he wrestles, he could be a good wrestler. Are we really going to see Rick and Morty?
What the? What
Somebody,
the fuck?
please, shoot me.
Why they dress like Rick and Morty?
Somebody, please shoot me.
something fell over
They
there.
just look wubba lubba dum dum.
Hey Cedric, are you ready for the ultimate crossover of all time?
I am not looking forward to stupid shit.
Neither am I.
Well, sorry about your damn luck.
Sorry about your damn luck.
Sorry about your damn luck.
What?
Pretty good James Storm, huh?
Sorry about your
I
damn
watched James
luck.
Storm grow as a wrestler from America's Most Wanted to Beer Money Inc. to singles competition. You know, I
Keep that
watched it.
on. They were a great tag team, America's Most Wanted.
They were. They were,
What
but
sucks is that James Storm didn't have a lengthy title for the TNA title. He could have been an alternate right there. That always got under my skin right there.
Wait, I thought James Storm did win a championship.
He did. He won the TNA title, but he didn't have a lengthy run, like an actual run with the title.
yeah, it was like transitional.
Yeah, that kind of got me salty about it.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy actually about to wrestle, bruh?
A lot of Ricks, a lot of Mortys, and that giant female head.
Tornado DDT, B. Somebody tagging Orange Cassidy. I want to see somebody get fucked up. You know, wrestling in jeans and in khaki pants is like god levels of you're awesome.
Just ask the Mean Street Posse. They used to do it.
Right.
If you can wrestle well in any attire, you're basically a legend.
Right.
Why y'all trolling?
Wait, who's
What?
trolling?
Who's trolling?
What?
Who's trolling?
Y'all got to be trolling saying that
Seth
shit.
Seth trolling?
Shit, somebody jumped inside a
It's the God
microwave.
himself. It's the God himself. Yes. It's funny because Sedrik's like, are we trolling though?
Because, you know, it's like you can wrestle in any attire that makes you a legend. I'm like, what the fuck? That's why I'm like, y'all got to be trolling.
Hey, if you can wrestle a 5-star match in a bear suit, yeah, you've got all the skills.
Hey, remember when Chavo wrestled as an eagle?
Who remember the Great Gobbledygook?
The gobbledygooker.
Beretta looks weird out of his attire.
And where's the orange salad?
The orange salad, the fruit salad.
They still got the tags on that shit.
Oh, crap, you're right, they do.
There's the orange salad.
You mean the God? The God of wrestling. You got to understand, Mr. Pony.
I would punch you right in his fucking face.
You got to understand, he's not just a wrestling genius. He is the Stardust genius. He is the god of professional wrestling. Orange Cassidy is like 5-star wrestler of the fucking generation. He can wrestle. He wrestles with no hands. Like what? Like who does this shit? He had the referee put on his shades for him, B.
And of course,
He could wrestle without hands. See?
help me.
Doom Buster.
I know, baby. I know.
I think I broke Sedrik on that mind.
Nah, I tuned y'all
Hold
out.
up.
I'll be honest with you. I tuned y'all out. I was listening to Cedra.
Because he was going to have a fit what I was saying.
I tuned that shit out, man. I had to tune out what I was looking at on TV. Beretta is in the wrong area.
Beretta is a what? How many times IWGP Tag Team Champion?
International World Grand Prix Tag Team Champion, I think 5 times. Junior Champion, I think 3 times. Junior 5. Heavy, I think he never got the heavy. It's just he's had
Beretta is so good.
too many wars to
So fucking. Could that be what it is? He fought so hard and so long over there. He's like ready to chill. Is that it?
No, that ain't it, girl. That ain't it. Oops. Enhancement guy, Frank Carls. Yeah, man, Frank Carls. That's my favorite. I'm gonna redo his beard, but that's my dude right there. Let's see.
Is that the black dude with the beard?
Yeah, Von Most Constrictor.
You mean the fucking Minoru Suzuki? The black Minoru Suzuki? Like, Jesus. I still need to test him out. Yes.
4 times IWGP.
There's for now, because update, let's try 6 months, I don't trust him.
Feng Shu. As definitely he's gonna referee this match. 20 minutes. Yeah, girl, what's up?
He was trained by Mikey Whipwreck.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Trained by the whippersnapper himself.
Wait, who was trained by my group?
Trent Beretta or Gregory Beretta, whichever name he wants to go by.
Ah. The Royal Flush Arena.
All right, let's see. Oops. I want to lower the game volume.
Out of just because I'm about to do it, I'm about to look for 10 reasons why Orange Cassidy is the best wrestler. They didn't even give me one.
I'm back.
When you said best wrestler, that ruled out anything talking about wrestling. So then there's no comment. That's where that failed. Now, if you said why Orange Cassidy is cool, I can come up with a few. It just won't deal with wrestling.
I just Googled it. That's the whole gimmick.
Man, you didn't Google shit.
No, I really did Google it.
I do Ecosia searches because I have standards.
Yeah.
That's how that
You
works.
think.
Is this a highlight reel? shoot us in my mind. Let me go. Hey.
Jericho.
Let me go. Hey. Shoot us in my mind.
Well, hopefully I'm finally catching up.
That song's tough.
And I see the pumpkin jacket.
And of course, they're gonna have the hot Asian girl.
That's an ugly ass jacket.
What, Jericho's jacket?
Yes. He does this
Some
shit
colors
on,
just don't.
he does it on
He
purpose.
does. He really does. He wants you to hate him. Say, what's the ugliest shit ever?
Yeah.
That's some good heel work right there, big fella.
Yep. So you mean to tell me these two got in the limo at the arena, drove around for these promos, and came back to the arena as if that's not where they were in the first place? All right.
Do you want me to explain the reason why that happened?
Man, I don't seen enough wrestling to know. I get why they're doing what they're doing. I get the build up. I get it. I get all of it. It's just doing that to me was just. I get it and it's all and it works, but god damn it, it's annoying. Yeah, Cody does, but god damn it, man, I want to see some fucking wrestling. I just want to see wrestling. I am glad. Okay, no, we're paying for this shit, but man, god damn it, this makes me want my money back.
You know what? I can't find the Falcon Arrow. I'm so mad about that. Where the fuck is the Falcon Arrow at?
I'm doing this. What the fuck? Is something moving? I'll be back. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Bruh, Jericho jacket is the most retarded shit I've ever seen in my life. Whoever made it needs to.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
I don't care. But whoever made it needs to go to jail. They need to get the fuck out of here. They don't deserve to.
Why couldn't you just say something like, "Whoever made this jacket should either be punched in the teeth or kicked in the dick"?
Because if I do that, I'll go to jail, and I don't want to go to jail. I want them to go to jail for that stupid shit.
But why not just punch him and go, "The voices told me to do it, the voices told me to do it"?
Oh, never mind, fuck it. Because it's my logic, okay? Leave me alone.
We have no logic.
That's the point. What is logic? If Cody wins this match, I'm literally not watching.
Shut up! You know goddamn well if no matter who wins, you're gonna keep watching the show.
Well, damn, don't yell at me. I'm so sensitive.
The head of my dick is sensitive, but yet I still scream at it at times.
Jesus. Wait, what?
He don't listen to everything I say, so I got to yell at him too.
There are things we do not regret.
Hey, if I'm working on Fire Pro, I need someone to work on the taxes, and that motherfucker just don't get it done for some reason. Well, fuck.
Why does it take so long? Finally, you're signing the contract.
It's a contract signing. It's the most important part of the event. Well, at least it ain't like WWE where they close the event with it.
Right. Like that, they've been like they'll have the event, then they'll hype up the whole contract signing during matches, after matches, and before the next match. Then the freaking contract signing at the end of, and then at the end of the show, the contract signing happens. It's so underwhelming. Somebody always go do a table. It's just like wow. Yeah, man.
Cody's like,
I'm gonna teach you a lesson, man.
Man, you don't get to call skin on you, shit. AEW don't
I
have a
didn't hear
history
the next
yet.
Jericho catchphrase.
They talk like
Tony
AEW's been
Schiavone's like,
around
I
for
need you
10
to
years.
leave. I want to hurt you, man. Calm down here, Billies. Come on, man. I gotta need you to calm down, man. Everything Jericho says is a whole catch.
Oh, apparently according to
Le Champion. Oh, they almost kissed.
oh, his belt matches his shoes.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
Cody is
I would have
definitely
Jeff
ready.
Jarrett the shit out of Cody. I've been like, you think I'm gonna lose to Stardust? I would have called that shit out. Like, where's your face paint?
Sometimes, if they start getting into your head, it just starts to cause issues with your performance.
You think I'm a loser? Goldust? Dang.
Almost. They did kiss. Oh, time limit draw. Which is why all these matches will definitely be going to 30 minutes.
Oh.
Von Most Constrictor.
And on this day, every single Yowie shipper went to action.
Yep. He's smoking a...
Gotta love that Jericho jacket.
You gotta love it. I hate it. It's the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life.
What the?
Like on Norzing. Or on Jesus Christ. I mean, Chris.
Oh no.
And you know what? This is a good. This is. They got the best spots of the whole show.
I mean, ever since AEW got Jake Hager in, he's just been good.
Right.
They're not
You
building
can't
up
argue
Jake
with that.
Hager at all. He's the muscle. I get it, but they need to build him up, put him in a few matches. But they're not doing that.
Hey, if they're not, I mean, it's really building up to what you really want Dustin to beat him.
Yeah,
But
if they didn't break
but
his
I'm
arm.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure Dustin's gonna lose.
He's gonna lose, but like at the end of the day,
Dustin is a. Oh, this sucks to say it, but Dustin is a high caliber enhancement guy.
I mean, yeah. I don't see him winning a lot of matches. I just see him building up stars. I'm sick and tired of looking at this Casper coming.
But at least it's not that GMC thing.
Oh, that billboard.
Yeah, enhancement thing.
Oh no.
I swear, if all of us could drink beer, we could probably do a shot how many times that comes up.
Oh god, I'll be drunk.
And then suddenly it just has commercial of nothing but those. It was like, just look at all these faces. I mean, between the Rock and Roll Express and Dustin,
Hey Joe, hey Kurt, movies? Oh Zeno, I hate that. You remember us, don't you?
I know, Cedra. I know. It's like, what the fuck? Oh shit.
When did we start? When did this start becoming video game mode? Oh, an Undertale reference.
So, yeah.
I didn't think people still played Undertale in 2019.
oh dear, here we go. Hey, never mind.
I thought it was something interesting.
They even used the sand sound.
I'll be right back.
They're using the sand theme, bruh. I'm asleep. That's funny. Sand. Wanna have bath, Tom? This is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
The best.
That's the best.
AEW Undertale. Okay, that was cool of Kenny Omega to dress as Sam.
He's such a video game nerd.
He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
There's a lot of crossovers happening today.
Waiting for it. Undertale AEW edition. Oh, now we got the Street Fighters.
Hey, Sedrik, if you're still there.
I'm here.
I leave
How you
because
feel
I
about
heard some
this,
yelling.
How you feel about this entrance?
I feel like I want to kill myself.
I ain't mad at me. I'm not mad at me.
You just got no words.
I get the whole Halloween dress up thing. You know?
And what's with the other? What's with the costumes for the other team?
I fucks with Kenny's new attire. Signs. Wanna have
I
bad
don't know what
Tom?
Kenny Omega was. I don't know that character. I don't know what the fuck. If
You
it-
never played Undertale?
You ever played? I never played on the tail, but I've seen some gameplay of it.
And there's still Ken and Ryu.
Damn, Omega should have came out as M. Bison. It would have been funny.
That would have been tough.
Should have came out as Chun-Li.
Oh no! No! That's an image no one wants to see.
Wait, I think it was something that happened. I think Kenny was dressed as some girl.
What?
It was like, Aladdin. Yeah. She was dressed as the girl.
And of course, the Young Bucks come out as the fighters of the street.
Omega's attire reminds me of another wrestler.
Nick.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry, I gotta share this with you.
What?
Check on general discussions. It's processing.
Oh god, no. I don't know if I should be impressed he can pull it off, or do I lose respect for Kenny Omega, dressed as a woman? Then again, it's 2019. If he wants to dress as a woman, not my problem.
That was old. That was an old picture. One like he was United States champion for New Japan.
Still, if he wants to dress as a woman, I'm not gonna question him.
I'm not gonna question him either too.
About Kenny being all alone. Did you see when they said his best friend was gone? Did you see the image it showed?
What? Bushi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That went from
And
Arabian
we
Night.
spoke this shit up all week. We talked this up all week. Kenny Omega is too goddamn predictable.
Yeah.
Me and Cedric spent all week watching other stuff, but oh man, Swan Dive Tornado Kick, but it didn't put him down, so that was a wasted move. But
I think
talk
that
about
image
Kenny
went from
Omega,
Arabian
him and
Nights.
his love affair with Ibushi Koda. Talked about that and talked about how Kenny just been a sourpuss since, as he called him, Busa wouldn't leave with him from New Japan because they told Ibushi, you stay here, we're gonna make you pretty. And Coach is like, I'm not going, Kenny. Kenny's like, I gotta be alone.
I ain't getting no play Murdoch. 18.
It would have been kind of cool to see Coda in this company, but at the same time, it's like it's his choice.
I'm glad that AEW is around for places for people to go. The problem is, the only people that's there right now, well, the majority of people there are grandfathered in. You know, it's not cool. If you're not friends of the quote unquote clique, you don't get in. You know, you've got to be in that area, and that sucks. They're not trying to get wrestling talent. They're not trying to put on pro wrestling. That's the problem. These guys are extremely underprofessional, where WWE, well, NXT anyway, is so professional it looks bad. Y'all got another finisher y'all want to hit that people going to kick out of? Anything else you want to do?
What?
Let's
a
do
nice arm
the
bar.
Meltzer driver.
It just, sucks. Mascara del Grillo. All right. Enhancement guys. We'll do Scotty McGrims. No. Don Bloom. Hualang. Mascara del Grillo. Oh, you found the flashy. Yeah. Quite bright, ain't it?
They're ripping patterns.
Kick, combo.
They said that about Genesis.
What?
No, when they advertised Terminator Genesis, this is the Terminator movie you've been waiting for. And people's like, yay, finally! Then it comes out the day after, this movie sucks! Now they're going to do it again, the Terminator movie you've been waiting for.
It's gonna work this time, you know why?
It'll work.
Well, you can't please everybody.
They couldn't please
You really
anybody
can't.
with Genesis.
We always listen to the fan reviews, never the critics.
I mean, sexually, at least penetration feels good at first. Genesis didn't even get that.
Only if you're wet.
Only if you're wet, huh? Okay.
Okay.
What?
Cedric said only if you're wet.
Wrapping in something dry, it's not gonna feel good for nobody.
I'm going back to what I'm doing.
So you think I'm bad? Cedric's worse.
What?
To me, what?
Man, wow.
Look, they talk about me giving that's too much detail or too much information. They don't know. I hold back. You don't. You add the other stuff.
You mean to tell me that sticking the dick in dry pussy being unpleasurable is not common knowledge?
No, it's not. Yeah, you're stunned, aren't you? No, it's not common knowledge. Because
Think
people
of the
don't know it
kids.
works that way.
Children.
People don't know that it works that way. Yeah, it sucks, don't it? Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I'm trying to tell you, you don't want to do this.
Who are you talking to?
Who do you think?
Zero
And.
is Nick up there?
Yep.
Oh hell yeah. He must think the pussy's always dripping wet for his plug and just don't want to give it to him because we're bitches.
Most likely.
What the fuck?
X gonna give it to you.
I don't know. I
That's
looked
gonna give it
back
to
and
ya.
I saw. Which Jackson's which?
No, just call him Ryu and Ken.
All right.
That's all you got.
Ryu did a spear.
Yes. And what did Ken do? Nothing. That's gonna give it to him. Say what?
Kenny Omega has a pause problem. Holy shit! God damn you, Cornette!
What?
Olivier?
Yes! Olivier doing his fucking jazz hands! Fuck!
What happened?
What the fuck? He does a lot of needless shit.
This is a King Olivia.
And see, you deliver a super kick like that, it should be over. They legit turned one of the most powerful kicks in wrestling into a regular punch.
Is he wearing socks over his tights, Reggie? If he is, I don't blame him. Sometimes I do that.
Oh. He should have just dropped Ken and just ducked or dodged or something.
Why are they playing assassin? Kenny Omega.
I'm waiting for someone to separate their spinal cord on that shit.
What the
Taking those bumps on the rim of the apron like that. What'd he say?
If you can't beat somebody with 3 super kicks, you need to reevaluate your game plan.
Exactly. Yeah, JR just called that shit out.
You beat one of the hybrid 2.
Doesn't it just prove the point of the stupid shit?
Yeah.
Give up. Give up.
Who was that? Oh, them. That was funny. He was trying to put away like, okay, let me go.
Yes, let's throw our own shirt into the shirt.
Kenny knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that those chairs were separate.
He did. He did. He was trying to grab a chair and go.
And two went with him. That shit was funny.
Great. Great.
Call your doctor if you have kidney and liver problems for taking on meds. That's supposed to help save you and protect you.
Medicine used to be what you took to help yourself, not give yourself extra shit that you need help for.
Alright.
Great.
Oh. Oh.
Great.
Oh, shit.
Bless you.
Thank you. Fuck. Hey, dude got school tomorrow. I don't fuck going to school. I need to stay home. I don't.
Well, I'm ready for at some point to eventually try out the entrance craft once I get it.
Whoever is fucking making these nano tires.
Great.
Somebody get this son of a bitch out the fucking
Give up. Give up. Great.
What the hell?
I thought I was a porn star on my TV.
I'm about to say, who's the girl in the blue hair?
Leila
Is
Bates?
that? Oh, I thought that was someone's grandmother.
Nah. She's wrestling WWE named Blue Pants. I fucking hated that game. But it got over. Well, you know, like most of.
Oh, he's trying to be Rick Rude, this guy.
Uh-oh.
What, Cedra?
It's my guy.
Jasper Evans.
It's my guy.
So who's ready for a bathroom break?
I've been taking them. I don't take water breaks. I've been watching. I've honestly been kind of listening to AEW, listening to y'all, but mainly watching the stuff, the matches I'm putting here on YouTube. That's mainly what I've been doing. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I might have to just. I might have to next week just watch NXT first. I ain't even watched last NXT. It's just not interesting. No, I'm just. It's just. This dude looks weird. He looks like a 1970s porn star that failed after the first shoot.
How the fuck can you fail a porn shoot?
I've seen it.
It's possible.
I've seen it.
How, Sway?
All right.
But here you go.
Thank you.
Here's Johnny Boy.
He saved us from this chaos.
Moxley, the 90s want their Stone Cold back.
If you don't like what you're being booked, then go back to CZW, my guy. Shut up your ass! Damn, he spit on the fucking camera.
You can't even see how he's walking.
It's not just his legs moving, it's the whole body.
You gotta give it to him. He sounds passionate, even though I'm not even paying attention to what he's saying because I'm trying to do something.
I honestly have it low enough so I can still hear it, but still enough for me to hear you guys mostly.
Yeah. The way he's walking and pacing around the ring is how I walk. That's how I walk inside the house. I pace my. And don't judge me. I do every day.
He's doing a lot of talking, but he ain't doing any doing.
Because this is a promo segment.
It's a stupid promo. It's stupid.
We've seen stupider.
Yes, we have, but that don't mean because we seen dumber that we should accept the stupid we got. I like this promos in New Japan. They made sense. They flowed with what they were doing. This don't flow with shit.
From what I get from his promo is basically that like he don't want to be K. He don't want to just do unsanctioned matches. He wants to put it on his record.
I would have used it in my favor. I would not. He's bitching and moaning about not being sanctioned. I would have used it to boast me 100%, not sound like I'm crying about it. All this numbnuts do is care about his dumbass hardcore shit. Then he gets the green light, storyline, the green light to be as hardcore as he want to be, and he's mad about it. It's fucking stupid.
I'm an outcast. I'm an outsider.
Give up.
I'm not this.
Man, I would have been like, they made it that I'm unsanctionable. You know how awesome that is? You know, I can't disagree with them. I'm violent. I hurt people. It's what I do. I'm a violent pro wrestler. You won't get much wrestling out of me. You'll definitely get the violence. And I'm glad it's non-sanctioned because that means this match doesn't technically happen. It's not on the record books. That means whatever I do to Kenny Omega is legal. I can break him. I can cut him. I can disfigure him. And it never happened. Wait until the pay-per-view. You will get to see some blood. You will get to see me do what I do best. And then I would leave the ring with that. I would not complain that I got my way. What the fuck? Come on, Jasper Evans, you can do it. Oh, you tired, man. You got. Come on, Jasper.
Ah! I think it's a quarter of my screen.
I just got the green light for a promo. Now all I need to do all tomorrow is write a script.
Give up.
Who's in the fucking ring?
Wait, AEW normally ends at 10, right?
Yeah.
Who's ready for another 15-minute match?
Give up. Give up.
Hey, see, hit refresh and see what happens. See where it is. You still got another 2 minutes of commercials left.
Well, I'm at Nugenics.
Great.
Same spot.
Bum. Two.
SCU!
Bum. Two.
Lucha Bros. Them belts look beautiful. Them tag belts look so beautiful.
They are beautiful. Damn shame they didn't do the female belts like that.
What's just for some bitches? You ain't gotta give them that good.
So the question is, who do you think is going to win in this match?
I want SCU to win, hands down. Only reason why, because I don't want the Lucha Brothers to win another goal until they are.
If SCU wins, I'll be happy. But I think that it's going to go to the Lucha Brothers. They're the ones that beat the Jacksons, so they go on. It's like a passing of the torch kind of thing.
They're hitting what's it called?
ギブアップ
I forgot what that means. Bless you.
Got time for this. Choose one. Get this thing started.
Big Bad Toy Store, they got toys, articulated toys of the Lucha Brothers.
Oh, really?
Yep.
ツー
Man, Scorpio Sky, that motherfucker, if he was like 3 or 4 inches taller
パン
and weighed about, I'd say 30 pounds more, he'd be natural born master.
パンツー
Shit.
You ain't got no butt.
Yeah, master got one.
I know.
Man, Jasper Evans gonna take dude to time limit or something.
ギブアップ
Oh, made in Japan. Or shipped to Mexico. Which one of them?
ギブアップギブアップ
I thought they were the Irish worker. Shipped to Mexico. Yes, sir.
パンツー パンツー
I miss Kazarian with his hair.
レイ
Yeah, I missed. Yeah, nice sling blade.
Lucha Bros. Let's see you. Yes, sir.
I don't know where he came from, but that fucker laid him. He laid him out.
ツースリー
No. He walked from the turnbuckle to the middle of the rope and attacked him.
Knobs root. Let's see.
Ooh, overhead super.
Monkey flip onto his feet. Oh, nice. That's nice. Let's see. What?
That's nice. That's nice. That sounded so condescending.
Yeah.
After 18 generations, they finally did it.
That's what I have to say about this.
Heel tactics. Counter piece. Whoa.
Yeah, girl. I'll see if I see it. I'm finna go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
You're gonna miss the awesome. So see. why is the Hawk there? Oh shit.
Oh no. Oh,
Am I ever seen that spot when like Phoenix was about to get tripped up, but he jumped over Scorpio Sky on the ropes?
Too tired to pay attention to shit. When she was in the ring fighting with him, she's just a valet. Shit. Fuck. Ugh. You're drinking and it feels like your throat gonna close up. Fuck. It hurt. Like, fuck.
now I feel hungry again.
Dancing in the moon.
Give up. Give up.
All right. Let's see how baseball's going.
Break.
Who is near the microwave?
I'm not there.
There is somebody near some kind of electrical outlet or something. I don't want to hear no one die on live chat. Just throwing it out there.
Well, I do have a pair of headphones with that tiny microphone in the middle of the wire.
Oh, that could be doing it.
That would be so unfortunate.
I ain't gonna butterfly face buster, but you know, let's not go for the pin because you know, reasons.
Come on, Ash. Ash. You got this.
Come on, SCU. What the fuck are you doing?
Give up.
DDT's bitch ass, yes sir.
I'm trying to be into this match, but
But it's too spotty.
it's spotty, and I just don't care who wins. I really just don't give a shit who wins.
But you're just kind of expecting the
Oh, he
Lucha
done
Bros
fucked
to win.
himself up.
$200 for a Switch Lite. Are you boggling my balls?
Boggling balls, boggling balls, boggling balls.
Like, I'm over here looking at the advertisement for a Switch Lite. I'm just like, what the fuck? Ooh, look at this big fucker.
Man, he didn't even kick out. He just like get off me and sat up.
That's how I'm gonna be. What the fuck off with you?
Oh,
10 minutes? Okay, yeah. GP, there you go.
I swear to God.
That referee needs to learn to hit the mat with her hand and not her fucking wrist. She gonna give herself carpal
She gonna
tunnel
break her wrist.
syndrome.
Yeah, break her wrist on that shit.
I'd rather break a wrist than get carpal tunnel. Ain't no cure for carpal tunnel, not really. Breaking a wrist, you just rest it for about 3 or 4 months. At least it'll get better.
What?
Man, ref got to get her dodge on. Man, in Fire Pro, if you want to make Octagon Jr. want to make his damn mask, just give him the Kane mask and then like Dr. Wagner Jr.'s mask and be alright. Come on, Wizards
Inside
Jarvis
the belts.
Jones. Don't let Mr. Grims beat you. Scotty McGrims. Okay, Yabby.
oh no, it's over.
SCU wins.
I'm happy as shit, bro.
I'm happy.
I'm red.
Well,
The crowd is extremely mixed.
I know, because they thought it's gonna be all over now when it hits the
normally we would have to
Driver.
care about the crowd, but screw the crowd. This is good.
I've never cared about the crowd. The thing is, I just use the crowd to gauge how they feel about what's happening in the ring.
Sometimes the crowd just be bullshit. I've seen a bad crowd, and holy shit, I was so mad. Alright, so now, final thoughts about the show. In your final words, comments, or something.
I got no comments. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Alright.
It's yeah. It could have been a lot
It's a
better.
meh.
It could have been a lot better. I don't understand a lot of stuff. It just the women's match was the best match of the show. That was the
Yeah,
best match.
there's no argument from me there.
None at all.
I get what AEW is doing. It just don't work. We need a wrestling company that will be in prime time that is going to bring back what professional wrestling is meant to be. NWA Power gets way more views than NXT and this combined.
Surprisingly, it was on YouTube, not on TV.
NWA, if they go back to TV, they might do well, but then that means that they're going to be under control, and I think they're trying to keep their own, they're trying to keep their own pacing, keep things the way they want it to be instead of how some figureheads say it should be. That
Which is
could be.
which is actually what separates them from the others, actually.
You know, when it comes down to a wrestling promotion, they try to like make it a lot more better. You need to at least let the wrestlers have fun and like not control them.
When you have absolute
Let them
control over
loose.
your wrestlers, you get stuff like WWE. When you have no control over your wrestlers, you got AEW. When you have wrestlers in the ring that got an idea of what they're doing and they're trying to be professional wrestlers, not actors, not spot monkeys and all that, and they're trying to put on a show, not an act. That's where you get the NWA. That's where you can get certain things like Rev Pro, stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep watching AEW. I just don't. Because honestly, these 2 hours, I could use it to watch some scary movies. I could go over notes for CR Fire Pro. I could keep furthering the build for BCW. Or I could have done a live show for Fire Pro Road. I could have done so much shit that waste my time on 2 hours to see one good match. What, Sedrik? Yeah, that's a lot of power struggle. AEW right now is almost where WCW left off. And that is not a good thing. I'm going to let this match... Oh, this match is over. And the winner of the match is Willis Jarvis Jones. He just gonna hold him in a small package, huh? They haven't fixed that shit for heels.
It's kind of funny, but you know, it gets annoying.
Whew, they ain't fixed shit. I just you can give us some downloads, but you can't fix the background. All right. Oh man. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here at least. So for everybody that listened to the stream, there's been the host of CR Fire Pros, Sedrik. There's been 00 and Mr. Pony. So thank y'all for listening. And that was Nick Infante who bounced earlier. So whether it's Twitter,
Yeah.
whether it's YouTube, thanks for listening. And leave your comments or whatnot for when this goes up on its own. Talk to you next week.